Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of Conquer the Curse at Benfica with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So this is our series where we get a chance to try and win a European trophy and break the curse placed on Benfica by their former manager, Bela Gutmann. Can we do it? Early stages of the first season, but ultimately, domestic campaign has started very well, and we have played a Champions League group stage match against Milan. Spoiler alert. It went quite well. Today we play Sevilla in our second match. Can we continue the good run of form? Let's find out. So welcome back to Benfica. It has gone remarkably well. I will catch you up just briefly on what's been happening in terms of the domestic stuff more than anything else. We'll focus in on the European stuff in a moment. You can see our run of form since the beginning of the season has been pretty spectacular. We got a slightly frustrating draw a couple of matches ago in the league, and then we did actually lose to Porto, having beaten Sporting 2-0. So that was a little bit disappointing. Porto at the time were about 6th or 7th and looked to be struggling just a little bit, and we kind of let them back into the title race a bit. So it's only early days. We're about 8 games into our league season, but it's going very, very well. And there, in the midst of all of that, you see our game at home against AC Milan, the first of our group games. We have Chelsea and Sevilla in our group as well. And we absolutely thrashed them 4-0, really comfortable. I was as surprised as anybody about it. I thought we had a chance, but not that big a chance. And it was a magnificent start to our Champions League campaign. If we actually go to the competition page, you'll see that we sit top of the table in the Portuguese Premier League, which is fantastic. We also sit top of the table after one game in our Champions League group stage. We are in the Portuguese Cup. We're continuing in the third round there, and we've yet to play a game in the Portuguese League Cup, so that's coming later on. But today it's about Sevilla. They lost to Chelsea in their opening fixture of this group stage. We need to really see if we can find a way to pile on the misery on them, keep them down at that point with 0 points, and win another 3 ourselves. Can we do it? Let's find out. So since you and I were together last, since we qualified for the Champions League group stages in the last episode, actually there's a transfer window has come and gone. That's finished. We didn't make any more moves. I was happy with my squad. I'm really happy to see how we get going this season and how well this team can play. And then in January and next summer, we can think about additions and changes if we need to. But just for now, it's about assessing what we've already got. The only injuries that we've got are slightly minute ones, really, a couple of days each for Gilberto and Maita, who are both out of the matchday squad today. But other than that, everybody else is fit and healthy, and pretty much everybody has had some game time this season already, which is good. I've been able to rotate a little bit here and there in the lead up to some of these Champions League group matches just to get some health and fitness into the first team. So mostly it's as you would expect us to be. It's our first team choice today. So for today's match against Sevilla in the Champions League, we go with Vlachodimos in goal. We've got Lazaro at right back, Grimaldo at left back. We have Verissimo and Otamendi in central defence, Weigl and Mario in central midfield, Everton on the right, Rafa on the left, and Nunes and Yaremchuk up top, and a 12-man bench to sort things out if it doesn't quite go our way. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So in terms of team talk, just a little bit of a challenge really for the players. Can you go and impress me? That's what I've been asking of them today. Go and put on a show. Let me see how good you can be. So we are on the winter update. So you'll see here for Sevilla, Martial is leading the line for them, etc. because all the January transfer window dealings have been taken into account for this particular series. And so that's going to be a problem for us. He's got a lot of pace at the back, and the likes of Otamendi not so pacey. So we'll see how we cope with him. Other than that, I feel like we can match up quite well with them, and I think our start to the season, specifically domestically, and that big Champions League win against Milan really should set our sights pretty high at the moment to continue that form on. So let's see how we get on. Away from home obviously is always going to be trickier. They come in with the 4-3-3. We're playing in the 4-4-2. And trying to be as front-footed as we can, trying to instill our game on the opposition as much as is possible. We may not have the possession that some of the other teams have, but we're much more dynamic, I feel, when we do have it. So we'll see. And whereas Martial can cause us problems at the back line for us, potentially Núñez can do that down the other end of the pitch, and we'll see whether he's on form today. He's been playing pretty well so far, as have most of the rest of the side, and Yaremchuk is the person who puts the ball in the back of the net to start with. Is he onside? We'll just have to check this one. I'm tempering my celebration just a little bit, and it was disallowed, unfortunately. 23 minutes on the clock. Yazaro puts the ball in from out wide right. And that's really narrow margins, isn't it? But he had just strayed offside by the closest of margins, and it was rightly disallowed, unfortunately. But there's a demonstration that we can break the lines, we can get through them, we can get the chances in the penalty box. We've got to keep doing what we're doing, and hopefully one of them will pay off for us at some point. It's been a little bit of a poor start. 36 minutes in, that was pretty much the only highlight we've had. And hardly anything has happened in front of goal. One shot on target for each team. It's not great, is it, really, so far? A little bit of a cancel each other out type of situation, it feels like. Couple of shots at goal, not many on target, and that takes us all the way through to half-time very quickly, really. The statistics are not great, are they? 0.39 XG rating, the expected goals from the chances that we created, compared to the 0.6 XG rating for Sevilla. Got to improve that in the second half. So we're going to come in, obviously, away from home. If we can get a point, it's not a terrible result by any stretch at all. But at the moment, the game feels like it's there for the taking. So let's pump the fists a little bit. We can win this match, keep working hard, and the result will come. That's a pretty good one to give, I think, at this point, because it's on a knife edge. We've got to instill some confidence in them. We're going to go into the shouts, fire them up at the beginning of the second half, hope that we don't get caught cold, and we do. Unfortunately, 47 minutes on the clock, 2 minutes into the second half, free kick comes in. We clear the original one. It's a good ball in from that far side. We get the goalkeeper parries the ball away from the first header, and unfortunately, it just falls straight to an attacking player, and he slots the ball home with no pressure on him, really. That's really unfortunate. I felt like the game was there for us to really properly have a go at. And so far, it seems to be Sevilla that have found an extra gear in this second half. They would probably read the riot act at half-time, you'd imagine, for not really getting too many shots away. And again, it's them putting the pressure on down this left-hand side from a throw-in. Can they get the cross in at all? They do, into the box. That's a great effort, and it hits the woodwork and goes out for a goal kick. We are riding our luck a little bit here. The goal clearance for us, we lose the ball again in midfield, and they're going to come back at us. They've set it back to their defence to set themselves up and take their time. We win the ball back. That's really good. Left fullback gets in there on that particular one. Everton takes over on this right-hand side. Darwin Núñez through on goal, puts it away, and he's got a bit of a knock, unfortunately. And I feel at this point it might be worth taking him out of the firing line. 60 minutes in, he's dangerous, but you can see his conditioning down in this bottom right-hand corner is not great. And he has picked up a bit of a knock. I noticed that a few minutes back in the second half, but needed to kind of keep going with the side that we had. I feel now is the right moment to see if we can change him out. Let's just go and check out what his injury might actually be. It's a lower leg injury. Wants to stay on, but the injury is affecting his performance. So we are going to take him out. But of course, he pretty much is the star of the show so far in this particular match. So that's disappointing. Ramos and Pino are our strikers on the bench, and both of those have come in and played pretty well here and there. Got a couple of goals here and there as well. So it's not a total disaster, but it's a little bit disappointing. So 60 minutes in, we make our first change. Hopefully, as the game progresses, they've picked up a couple of yellow cards. That might come back to bite them. We almost get a second goal from the substitute. Ramos on the header off of the free kick on the far side puts the header over the top of the bar, unfortunately. But again, the chances are there. 20 minutes to go. We're going to go a couple more minutes and then make a couple more substitutions just to bring fresh legs in, really. Get the energy levels up for the last 15 or 20 minutes of the game. We've had some good performances specifically at the back, some really poor ones down the other end. Yaremchuk, who missed that early chance through that offside decision, on a 6.2. We've got Mario on a 6.4 in midfield. Same with Grimaldo at left fullback. There's plenty there that we need to do something about. So we are going to take Yaremchuk out. So that's both our strikers out of this that we've switched out for the game. And then we either change probably central midfield, or we've also got Rafa on the left-hand side that's not doing great either. I think we'll change the left-hand side. We'll make it all attacking changes in that final third and see if that can find a way to shake things up enough to get us another chance before the end of the match. So we're going to go back in. We're going to demand more from them for the last few minutes of the game and just see if there's anything for us to take any more so than a point here, whilst trying to hold on to what we've got as well. Absolutely. 10 minutes left. The time is ticking very quickly. The XG rating for us has been absolutely woeful today. Really quite disappointed. They've had 17 shots to our 7. 2.0 XG rating means that their second goal is coming if they can get another couple of efforts on target. But it looks like they're going to run out of time. And we are maybe going to get a draw. It's not a bad result, to be honest. I think that's actually pretty good. I'm just a little bit disappointed by the way that we played a little bit. But this is away from home, and maybe that's going to be a different prospect for us in the Champions League compared to our home game. But anyway, ultimately, we got a point, which is really valuable, keeps us without a loss in the Champions League group stage, puts the pressure on a couple of the other teams. We'll go and find out what happened in the Chelsea and Milan game. That will be interesting. But for today, disappointing in the result, into the performance, should I say, but the result, not too bad. So actually, it turned out to be a really great result for us in the other game. Chelsea and Milan had a 0-0 draw between the two of them, so everything is as it was in the group stage. We sit on top on goal difference with the likes of Sevilla and Milan 3 points behind Chelsea and ourselves. So it's going to be an interesting couple of games coming up next to see who can really take advantage of this particular group stage, because we now play our back-to-back games against Chelsea. You and I are going to come back next episode and play the second one of those and just see where we are. But overall, things are going very, very well. Happy across the board with the domestic campaign and also how we've started in the group stage. So onwards and upwards. Let's see what we can do this season as we march on. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. As I say, next episode, Chelsea in the Champions League. Till then, thank you for joining me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join my United City community. The more the merrier. Click that like button on this particular episode. That'll help me get seen by more people. Until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.